Right, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about the ways you can produce content and what content you can be producing even though you're closed due to the lockdown or while coronavirus and everything is going on. With all the uncertainty, I completely understand there's a lot of you very obviously concerned by that, and there's a lot of people saying, well, you know, what can I post on social media? You're telling us to keep consistent, but we've got no ideas what to post. How can you do that when we're closed? So today I'm going to run through the 10, I'm going to run through 10 ideas of content that you can be posting regardless of what your niche or business type is, whether it's a bar, a restaurant, a boat, a show, an excursion, a hotel. These things will match all businesses. I've said it before in the previous video. I'm a huge advocate for you keeping your social media active no matter what and regardless of how long this goes on for, because when it's all over, you do not want to be left behind the curve. Okay, you do not want to be the small voice trying to make the noise when everybody else has left you behind because they've kept themselves consistent, they've grown the community, they've got the voice online, and then it's just a case of them actually switching that message to say, okay, we're now back open and this is what we're doing. You know, do not switch off your social media. I've heard people saying, oh, people might get a bit bored and fed up. Listen, if never think that people are going to be annoyed or frustrated with what you're posting online. Okay, if they don't want to watch it, then they're not the people you're trying to target anyway. Do not worry for 1 minute about, oh, you know, I'm posting too much content. If they don't want to follow you, they can just unfollow it. All right, you're always trying to find the people that are relevant to your business and who want to hear from you, and it's simple as that. But don't give yourself a way out and an excuse of thinking, oh, you know, people are going to get fed up and they don't want to hear my content. Okay, so let's jump straight in. So I'm going to give you the 10 ideas that I think can keep you running through this, regardless of whether it's a week, 10 weeks or a year, who knows, but this is all content ideas for you to implement in your business. All right, and when I talk about content ideas, I'm talking specifically today about social media, what you can post on your, whether it's Facebook or whether it's Instagram, it doesn't really matter. These principles apply to both, okay? But I would say primarily Facebook is what a lot of this is more suited for. So let's concentrate on Facebook. Hopefully most of your businesses has got a Facebook page, and it's a very good place to start. So number one, in times like this, the key thing you need to be putting out there is information, right? That is what everybody wants. That is what everybody's looking for at the moment. Your potential clients, customers that have got holidays booked, customers that are thinking of booking a holiday. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're just sharing news article after news article. You know, educate people on what is going on in your town. Educate people on what life is like for your business now. Educate people on what's happening in Spain, if you're in Spain or Greece or America, you know, because everywhere in the world has their own different ways of dealing with this, and just become that little voice online that your potential clients thinks, right, you've got the credibility now, and that's where I go get my information from. And the reason for that is, like I said before, when it comes to the end of this and you want to start announcing from this date, this hotel is open and this bar is open and this resort is open, you want to be at the top where people are already looking for their information. There is no good waiting until that time happens. So get on it now. Start producing this information. Keep everybody up to date. Don't share all the horror stories and scare stories and things like that are just made up online. Get factual information and share very relevant content to you, your business and your resort, and let people in. Let people know what's going on in your town. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, create a community and show how you're helping as a business of those in need around you. Okay, and you're like, so well, I'm not doing that. Well, maybe it's a time to think about doing that. And I'm talking about creating goodwill stories. I'm talking about helping out charities. I'm talking about helping the elderly in your community. I'm talking about how your business can support the services or anything what's going on in your area, or helping people or animal shelters or the elderly or anything at all that you can think of that you can be doing. I'm not saying go be charitable for the likes, but I am saying go be charitable for the likes, because look, what's wrong with that? Yeah, if you might go into that thinking, well, I'm doing it to help my business, but so what? If ultimately you end up doing something good for charity that's going to help others, fair play to you. So create the goodwill stories. All right, so start thinking about what you can give back. Okay, and it doesn't always have to be financial. You know, everybody's struggling financially. Is there some sort of service you can offer, or time? You know, there's people sewing masks out there, there's people providing entertainment for people on lockdown. Anything at all that you can do. If you are giving donations, or tell people how you're looking after your staff during this time, how you can reassure people for what things are. It's just create that kind of goodwill message. And if you are doing anything charitable or to help the community, then share the message. You know, ride on the back of that positive news, what everybody's crying out for. So yeah, go do something good for the community and share the story. Okay, number 3, and a lot of these content ideas is basically that. Imagine if you planned for a weekly schedule. Okay, so on Monday I'm going to post this, on Tuesday, on Wednesday and Thursday. So it just guides you a little bit of, while the business is closed, that's when it's going to be the hardest to come up with content. So number 3, let's say on a Wednesday, tell your backstory. You know, you're all in a resort, you're all arrived there somehow, you all had the idea of a business, so sort of tell your origin story and do that gradually. Now you might think, oh, that's just one post. Well, it's not. So let's say you've had a bar for 15 years in Faliraki or anywhere, wherever you are, right? So I'm going to take you, so okay, I'm going to post on Wednesday. My first post is, I'm going to take you all the way back to when we first turned up in the resort, how we fell in love with this resort, how we ended up on this island, how we ended up in this country. Okay, then it led us to thinking we might need a business, and then literally every week post some sort of content, a blog, a video message. If you're happy to speak on camera, speak on camera. If not, do a long Facebook post, a blog post for your website, and just take people through it. You'll be surprised how interested people actually are of how you ended up owning that bar in a Spanish country or in a Greek country or wherever you are, and what brought you there. Then you can take people through, you know, then we got to the build, or how we chose the location, the problems you ran into that, and you'd be surprised how many weeks you could fill of a little backstory of how you began. And it's the reason for all of this is to keep attention on you. It also is going to build rapport with your customers. You know, they're really going to start buying into you, so that the idea of all of this is, so when you open up again, you've got a great relationship going with all these customers, so that when they get the chance to come back to your resort and they've been sharing your stories, and maybe people have found you for the first time online, where do you think they're going to come? You know, they want to come to your business because you've spent all of this time reaching out to them and communicating with them. All right, so tell your backstory, your origin story, how it came about, and don't think people are not interested, because they are. Just tell your story. Yeah. Number 4, go the other way. So we've gone all the way back, let's go all the way forward. Plan the party, okay? Get people excited about when this is all over. Let people dream about what's going to happen. You know, what's it going to be like that first night when you open up after lockdown, if you've got a bar, if you've got a club. What is your hotel going to be doing for the guests to mark it? And it is going to be a massive occasion. Now, of course, we don't know how lockdown is going to end. It might be gradual, but there's certainly going to be a day or a night that your business is officially open. So start getting people thinking in the planning. Share your thoughts, ask your community for ideas of what would you like us to do, who's going to join us, what do you think would make the great night, is there any offers you think we should, you know, if there's any offers you want to put on. So it's basically get people dreaming again and get them connecting to the idea of coming back, and get them connecting to the idea of waiting for that opening, of waiting for the chance to go back to that resort. Okay, not the fear side of it, not the is it safe to travel there, none of that. This is all about the positive side of, bang, we're going to open with a party, and this is what we're doing. So plan. So number 4, plan the party. And like I say, again, every week you could develop on that. And oh, we had some great ideas last week, but we've been thinking about this. We're also, the resort is going to do something special. You know, there's a lot you could do with that. Number 5, content ideas. Introduce your staff. Now, I'm going to guess the majority of you on here is not just a one-man band, you know, especially if you're serving tourists, sorry. So listen, you might have 2 staff, you might have 20 staff, you might have 50 staff. Week by week, you can introduce a staff member, okay? And if you can get the staff to send you a video just to introduce themselves, where they're from, how old they are, how they ended up working for you, how they ended up in the resort, their backstory, okay? And it's just okay, today we're featuring Steve the waiter, for example, right? Here's Steve, you know, he's 43, he's from Manchester, he's worked for us for this long, and this is what he's interested in, and there's content for you, okay? Now, you might reply to me and say, well, I've got 2 members of staff. What do I do at week 3? Then maybe you start going back through the staff you've had over the years. You know, maybe you've got some old pictures and you want to go back through the team. This is Mad Tom who worked for us in 1997, and we remember this guy because of this, and it was fun memories. You know, there's always something you can do with that. But again, it's just letting people make and form a connection with you and your business. And of course, what's going to happen there is the friends, the family, and the connections to that guy or that person or that lady who you're going to share are more likely to engage and share and post that to their own community. All right. Number six, favorite memories, events, things like that from the past of when you was open. So just again, we're going backwards, but this one is all about our favorite memories. Okay, so we held a charity event back in 2003. We did this, and it is one of the best days we've ever had. We had a wedding party join us on this night. There was a customer who proposed on our boat. It's a boat excursion, and on this date we rescued a turtle, and here's a video from that. And listen, it'll be good for you. You know, in times of absolute negativity and worry and stress, it'd be very nice for you to start thinking back through some nice memories, positive memories, and sharing these stories again. And again, you'll be surprised how many people start engaging with that and commenting with that. And you can pull up these memories every week. Just favourite events, charities, you know, maybe it's outside of your business. Maybe it's something that... the resort of where you are, you know, a festival, a street carnival or something, just a really fun memory, always connected to either your business or the resort that you're in, okay? So favourite memories. Number 7, customer highlight. So we've focused on the staff and your guys. Now let's focus on the most important people to your business outside of your staff, and that is your customers, yeah? So how are you going to do that? Well, look, some of you will be lucky and fortunate enough to have your very loyal staff members, the ones that share everything you put on Facebook, the ones that comment on everything you do, the ones that come and see you every single year. It's time to dig up some pictures of those favourite customers and clients and thank them publicly. And what you're doing, you'll be surprised how you're starting to put in the minds of other people, like, you know, they really value and appreciate these customers. Now, of course, whoever you choose, they're going to be over the moon with that. You know, you're their favourite bar or restaurant or cafe, and all of a sudden you're celebrating them on your social media, and maybe you don't have any pictures, maybe you don't have any names that spring to mind. Well, why don't you go jump on your reviews? Why don't you just pull somebody out of TripAdvisor and screenshot it and say, today we're just going to say thank you to Elizabeth. Elizabeth is here, left us an amazing review back in 2018, and she said this and this. Thank you so much for joining us. It's amazing that you liked that, or you liked this, or you brought your family, and we're so glad to hear that. And just go through your reviews, TripAdvisor, Facebook, wherever you've got reviews, have a look, pull out a customer, and basically it's highlight the customers and get that engagement going the other way. So that's number 7. Number 8, competitions. Competitions are... they've not gone anywhere. They're sometimes difficult to run on social media. There's a few rules and regs when it comes to paid advertising and things, but normally organically, you've still got a good chance of these taking off, all right? Now, as long as it's legit, as long as it's not... You see people post these, they try and come up with these big crazy, win a 2-week holiday in a VIP hotel, and you'll be surprised how much engagement you can get off simply giving away a meal for 2. And I've done this with clients before. You know, we set a table. Of course, you can't access your venues now, but it's just to put the ideas in your head. It's just a picture of an empty table set up for 2 clients. Okay, we're gonna, as soon as this is all over, we're gonna give away a meal for 2. Okay, and it is a 3-course meal, or drink all you can, or maybe even all you can eat banquet. You know, those type of words, that all you can eat. We're gonna give away an all you can eat banquet. Them things are real triggers in people's minds. So okay, we're gonna give away this, and then it's all about getting the comments and the likes and the engagement. Now, I'm not a fan of giving too many instructions to win a competition. All right, try and make it simple, but try and get the benefit of the engagement. But You know, some people are like, okay, you've got to like this post, you've got to share this post, you've got to comment on this post, you've got to tag 28 people. All right, try and make it nice and simple. There's nothing wrong with putting rules in, but try and do it in a way that makes sense to the customer who's reading it. So something like, okay, all you've got to do in order to win this banquet for two is tag who you would like to share that with. That makes perfect sense, because, you know, it's not like, oh, well, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. Well, I'm going to win a banquet for two. I'm not coming on my own. This is who I'd like to bring. Then, of course, they tag their person, and whoever they're going to tag, they're now brought into your world. Okay, so then they've got a chance of liking your social media. Do you see how that sort of moves? And it doesn't mean meals. You can give away tickets for your show. You can give away tickets for your boat excursion. You can give away a night in your hotel. You can give away a free upgrade in your hotel. Anything like that. You don't have to put a timestamp on it. You can just say, when this is all over, anybody who books is going to be joining us, whether it's this year or next year. You know, we're going to keep the prize open for this long. Here's the prize. Don't go too long into the descriptions and the rules and everything else. It's just, think of something that you're happy to give away, and do give it away, by the way, because then there's a post in itself when you announce the winner, and then go again. You know, so do something that's within your budget, do something that's realistic, and think of the benefit for that, and think what your customers might actually want from your business. Okay, no, I'm not talking go give away 500 euros in cash. Okay, something connected to your business that gets them thinking about your business and commenting in that way. So that's number 8, and that's competitions. Now, number 9, open conversations with your posts. So on your day-to-day post on social media, it is all about trying to get the mind thinking of the customers. Now, we know they're all stuck in the houses, we know they're all locked at home, we know they're all dreaming of the next holiday, or even scared of when that might be. Well, they're going to get a holiday this year, they don't know. But let's post things that appeal to the dreaming side of where they are, because they're not in resort at the minute. You're marketing to these people while they're still in the UK or Germany or France, wherever your clients are based. And so let's put content out there that just generates a conversation on the post. And an example, something like, okay, let's have some fun. Yeah, and I've done this before again with clients. So let's have some fun. If we was open this evening and we could fly out one of our meals, anything off our menu, what would it be and where are we delivering it to? And if you've got that sort of loyal client base, you'll be amazed how many are just like, oh my God, I want the ribs, or send me one of your breakfasts, or I want your steak, and you know, it's the best steak I've ever had, or that pizza. Maybe you've not got a restaurant and it's just a bar or something, then it's, you know, your example of that would be, okay, we've got one of our waiters, he's going to arrive. This is just for fun, it's virtual thinking, yeah? So we're sending out a virtual drink. Okay, what cocktail would you choose off our menu, and who would you be sharing that with? And let people comment, you know, and that's what it's all about. Always reply to comments, keep the engagement going, keep the conversations flowing. Thank people for commenting, reply, like, and keep these loops open, yeah? Now, if you might have a bar, you might have a restaurant, give away tickets for your... Sorry, who would you bring to the show? If we was open tonight and we could fly you in, who would you bring to the show? Or what would you like to see at the show? If you could have anybody on our stage, who would it be? Just anything you can think of, just get the imagination flowing a little bit, and picture your clients, picture where they're sat, and picture what they might be dreaming about, and what would make them want to comment. All right, get the conversations moving. And then finally, number 10 is promote your resort. So you've got all this content flowing through the week, and you're thinking inside your business, and you're locked in them sort of 4 walls of what can I post today and where's my pictures. Well, once a week, step outside of your bar, your business, your excursion, whatever that is, and promote the resort. Okay, and talk about either the resort, the local town. It could be a festival that goes on every year. Maybe there's a carnival that people don't know about. Maybe it's just your favorite beach, you know, but once a week, just jump on. And this is why we love Ibiza. This is why we love Mallorca. This is why we love wherever you are in the world. Okay, so because again, I've said this before, once this is all over, you're not competing with the business next door anymore. You are competing with the other resorts in the world that are all going to be grappling over this tourist dollar. Everybody's fighting to get these tourists back. And that's what all of this is about. So do that, okay? So look, there's 10 points there, right? Have a little think of the 10. Look, hopefully you got some benefit from that. Maybe it's give you some ideas. You don't have to use them all. But more important than anything is don't let your social media die during these times. You've got to stay active. You've got to keep in touch with your clients because it's going to give you the best chance of reconnecting with them when you do finally open again. Okay, don't lock yourself away. Don't think people don't want to hear from you. So there's 10 points there. Let me know what you thought. If you've got other ideas, please leave them in the comments. And let me know what you get on. And if you use any of them, if you've got more ideas, share them with the group. That's what this is all about. Okay, have a great week.